Okay, consideration of approval of the meeting agenda for tonight. We have under department and committee reports, we have the water department Wade Trim monthly report. Item B is the fire department report. Item C, office of the zoning administrator. D is the planning commission report. E, downtown development authority. F is the personnel committee report with the number 1 annual employee evaluation of Lynn Couillers, effective March 1st, 2015. And 2 is an update on the level 3 assessor position. G is the PEG report. H, the sewer project report. Under new business, item A is consideration of request for financial support from the Manistee Conservation District in the amount of $745 for the Household Hazardous Waste Clean Sweep Collection Day to take place in Manistee County on Saturday, August 15th, 2015. Item B is consideration of approval of the presented fiscal year 2016 budget as discussed at the budget hearing held on February 3rd, 2015, and appropriate the millage for the purpose of 1.39555 township operating, 1 mil for refuse, 1/2 mil for fire and rescue, and 1/2 mil for the fire bond. Item C is consideration of approval of the presented wages, salaries, charges, and fees resolution for 2015-2016. Item D is consideration of approval of the presented Downtown Development Authority budget for fiscal year 2016. E is consideration of the annual spring brush pickup. Item F is consideration of approval of a resolution supporting the development of the Manistee Countywide Park and Recreation Plan. Item G, consideration of approval of terrorism insurance coverage offered by U.S. Specialty Insurance Company for the policy period March 1st of 2015 through March 1st of 2016. Item H is consideration of approval of a request for annual support from the Manistee Recreation Association within the range of $10,422.50 to $11,464.75 for the year 2015. The current annual contribution rate is $11,880. Item J is consideration of approval of purchase of an HP 350 G1 laptop computer for elections at a cost of $479.99 from Jack Pine. Any questions, additions, or deletions on the meeting agenda?
That computer's bought just for the election, Shirley? Do we get our money back or what?
No.
But we don't get the computer neither, do we?
Well, you get to keep the computer, but it isn't working.
What good is it?
There, it isn't.
Huh?
It isn't.
Motion we approve the meeting agenda.
I'll second it.
Motion by Hitchinski, second by Skira to approve the meeting agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Next, consideration of approval of the consent agenda. For tonight, we have item A, the minutes of the budget hearing held February 3rd, 2015. Item B is minutes of the regular board meeting held February 3rd, 2015. Item C is the financial report. D is approval of the township general fund expenditures, including the fire department. Checks numbering 32104 through 32199. With accounts payable totaling $56,469.39. Payroll totaling $17,824.24 for a grand total of $74,293.63. Item E is approval of the water department expenditures. Checks numbered 2082 through 2092 totaling $20,980.14. F is approval of the 2015-2016 Township Board monthly meeting schedule. Item J is approval for the Planning Commission members, the Board of Appeals members, and the zoning administrator to attend the MSU Extension seminar titled Introduction to Shoreline Zoning, which will take place in Manistee on March 30th at a cost of $55 each. Item H is approval of a budget amendment transferring $1,000 from the fund balance of the general fund to assessor salaries. Item I is approval of a budget amendment transferring $2,000 from the fund balance of the general fund to Township Hall Professional Services. Item J is approval of a budget amendment transferring $20,000 from the fund balance of the Water Department to capital expenditures. Item K is approval of a request from the United Veterans Council of Manistee County to purchase veterans' grave flags at a cost of $300 to be used in cemeteries in Filer Township. Any additions, deletions, or questions on the consent agenda for tonight? If not, I would entertain a motion for approval.
I so move. Support.
Motion by Cruz, support by Williams to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Public comments. Any public comment tonight? Betty?
Two things. On K, the approval of a request from the United Veterans Council for the flags. Are they going to be made in America?
Yes, they are.
Okay. The other thing is consideration of approval F in new business. Supporting the development of the Manistee County-wide Park and Recreation Plan. What does that take in?
Shirley, why don't you speak to that? That's something the Planning Commission's been or is going to be working on.
The, which number is it, F?
F,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, the planning commissions, mostly planning commissions, sometimes other board members or other committees, have been meeting countywide to compile parks and recreation plans. Recreation plans are called. And when a township or a city or a village has these recreation plans in place, they can do borrowing from certain agencies, you know, for certain kinds of things that would be parks or recreation oriented. We have a planning commission member that attends this every month. Usually the meetings are held in Calaveras. And
Does it involve Lagoon Creek and Sunny Park?
not per se, because this is just a county-wide plan that's coming together. But if we wanted to borrow money, for instance, for something at Sunling Park, if we have this plan in place, this is what we need as a first step. If we would go for grant money in certain places.
Does this have anything to do with the Lake Salans
No.
project? Okay, thanks.
Any other public comment? Mary?
Yeah, Shirley, on the check issue for approval report, where does it show where you pay the withholdings and the FICA and the Medicare taxes?
They are all done electronically.
But shouldn't that show up even the amount on here?
It hasn't since it's started with the electronic ways of doing it.
It should be.
Because it isn't a check
it's
issue.
a direct deposit because it's
It's-
money going out.
Right.
And then on the treasurer's report, could that be a little more detailed as to what we have in the funds, other than that the checking account balances? I assume it was balanced because that's what the treasurer does, but we used to have where it showed the receipts that came in the general fund, and then the total of the checks issued off of the report that Shirley does. And the same thing with the fire fund, and there used to be a Lagoon Creek fund, I don't know if there is anymore. I thought that money was allocated for Lagoon Creek. and the liquor law. A bit, I mean, it shows that it balances, which is great, but how do we know what's in each fund as, that are out there? And it also used to list the CDs that we have. I don't even, do we have CDs anymore, or our investments?
We do have some.
Yeah, that it could be a little more detailed than just, that it shows that it's balanced, which is great, but each fund is separate. So I would think that we would need to see, a little more detailing there. That would just be my second thing. And then I have a couple more things, but I guess on this agenda that you just put in, that you've all approved, how do we as people sitting out here know, I guess, like with that'll be coming up on the agenda with the wages, what are they for 2015-16 for everyone? We don't know this. And then, what is it that we're paying Coucher for on Vanderwall and Straddle and Richard? Why do we pay them $400? What is that for?
Your accounting.
Why are they doing our accounting? That's up to your own office person.
There are consultants.
Well, yeah, they understand, some of the legal implications of
Right.
the accounting
I'm
procedures.
going to be talking to Dave Richards
Okay.
in the near future, so I'll get some clarification on that. But I would think the total for the accounts payable and payroll for the 74 grand, you would have to include those taxes that you're paying too. And when you were paying Bruce Brown, I know he was a statutory employee. Did you take any taxes out on him? Were we matching his FICA and Medicare? Were the township picking up that? Or didn't you have to take it out on him?
When do you want to answer that? I had a discussion with Richard the other day about that.
Well, Bruce was a contract employee up until the time that the IRS said he had to be
Statutory.
he had to be our employee. And at that point, we started taking out,
So basically, the
taxes.
township's also throwing in the matching FICA and Medicare. So that's another expense the township has going on. Now with this Barbie, his daughter, is she getting paid with the FICA and Medicare coming out also as an employee?
yes.
Okay. Now, was Bruce Brown included in this pension plan that you have? Where you would be kept putting money in, by bringing him on as an employee, you brought on more
He is not in.
expenses.
No, he was not in that.
He was not, so it's just the township board then,
Yeah.
and fire chief. I went back in the minutes for 10 years, because I'm not done yet, but for 10 years, I noticed that no one on the board, and I know some of the board has changed over, ever voted no on anything. So either you guys all get along that well, or no one has an opinion. And it makes me wonder, does somebody even know what they're voting on? And that, I would just like to bring that up. Because why in 10 years did somebody not say no to something? Or even bring it up for a little more discussion. It's hard to tell with some of the minutes.
Well, Mary, I would dispute that because I know there have been no votes on.
No, there hasn't. I went back
There
10
has
years.
been. Just since I took office,
Right.
there has been no votes on motions by board members.
I have not seen one yet. No.
Well-
I voted myself no on something
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
No, I honestly, I went through 10 years, and I didn't do it just once. I wanted to make sure that I was right, and there was nobody that votes no on anything.
All you have to do is go back maybe 1 year and you'll find some.
I already did that.
They're
I
there.
did that before I even came here.
They're there, Mary, believe me.
Just need to double check it again.
Well, I'm glad that you remember doing it, but it wasn't recorded that
I
way.
remember very well.
Yeah, well, it was not recorded
Anyone else?
Would you like to back up and do this Pine Ridge now under communications?
I suppose I could. I was going to do it under the sewer, since it's related. Okay. Okay, moving to the reports. You all have had an opportunity to look at your water department report from Wade Trim. You know, if there's anything there that you've got issue with.
Who are you talking about, water department?
Yeah. The Wade Trim monthly.
Did they turn over that generator to us?
Yes. Yeah, that's been,
Anybody making, well, what's called supposed to inspect that, right? We Trim, they were the contractor that's in charge of that.
that was top line.
Huh?
Top line.
Yeah, top line
Yeah.
was sublet from the Wade.
Right. Yeah, and Mike talked with me about that about a week and a half ago, and that'll be run every so often.
Yeah,
and,
well, I'm
yeah.
still trying, I'm waiting for the board to give approval, I'm still waiting for that guy to get it set up, where he would do all three generators.
Okay, the annual
Annual inspection,
inspections, okay.
so,
Well, when you get something, bring it to the board.
I will.
Okay. B, Fire Department, Ron?
Okay, in the month of February through the 25th, we've had 30 emergency calls. 25 were medicals, 2 auto crashes, 1 we investigated possible gas leak, and 2 structure fires. Also, we received an application from Mr. Chris Cody. I know I had in my report also Mr. Billy Sang. His employment situation is not stabilized, and therefore I'm not asking for Billy to be included in the department because I don't have an application for him yet due to his employment situation. So I'm just asking that Mr. Chris Cody be allowed to be put on the roster. He is fire trained and is currently enrolled in an EMT class at Baker College in Cadillac. So I'd like to add them to our roster. Also, as far as the staffing goes, we've typically tried to advise the board that we would maintain a staff of 25. And we've been trying to go up a little bit above that because people come and go so much. And I'd like to set that at a maximum of 30, although I don't anticipate us actually getting to 30. Because, well, this will bring us, Mr. Cody will bring us up to Jim, 27 or 28, 27. I am going to have a couple that are going to be leaving, so that'll bring us back down again. But I would like to be able to put Mr. Cody on the roster.
Is Cody spelled right, C-O-A-D-Y?
C-O-A-D-Y is what he had on his
And
application.
he'd be firefighter 1?
He's firefighter 1, right?
And you did indicate in your report, Ron, that you respond to a lot more calls annually now than what you were.
This, so far, as of today, as of about 5:15 today, since January 1st, we responded to 67 calls in 63 days. So it's, I don't know what the deal is, but it's been really busy. And that actually extends into last year. So if you added all the days in a row that we responded to calls, it's been every day since toward the end of December.
I'll make a motion with Cody on.
I'll second the motion. Motion by Cruz, second by Walker to add Chris Cody to the fire department roster. Discussion? Is Chris a resident of the township?
No, he isn't. He lives just inside the city.
Okay.
Because I think we're going to see increases in a lot of this coming up as we get more businesses, bigger ones starting to be built.
Well, that's what we were looking at, is with the employment of 200-some people at Meyer. People are going to be looking for places to live, and Filer's a prime place to live. So people are moving into the area. It's going to increase.
As I said, we had a busy week.
Pardon?
We had a busy weekend.
We had a real busy weekend.
Any other questions, comments? Okay, all those in favor of the motion to add Chris Cody to the fire department roster, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, I have just two other things that are not in my report. The first one is that I believe it's important for the Township Board and residents of Filer Township to know that they can take pride in the men and women of Filer Township Fire Department. Since late December of 2014 through today, we have averaged more than one call per day. Well, that may not sound like much. That means that for the last 63 days, firefighters have left their families, friends, and loved ones in places that range from home to grocery stores, church, and anywhere else you can imagine to respond to fires and medical emergencies, sometimes for hours. They have spent up to 6 hours in temperatures ranging from -10 degrees to a high of 21. At one of the fires where the temperatures were below zero, firefighters suffered from breathing apparatus regulators freezing, making them impossible to use. They also suffered from freezing turnout gear, coats, and pants that turned to icicles, making movement difficult. At this fire, our medical staff assisted West Shore Medical Center ambulance staff in the treatment of 5 residents of the structure. After several hours, we returned to the station, cleaned our equipment, hung our gear to dry, and prepared to return to our homes and families when we were dispatched to another fire in a neighboring township. Redonning their wet gear, firefighters immediately responded to that fire and assisted in the successful completion of that emergency. While en route to that fire call, we were dispatched to a medical emergency in Filer City. During our most recent fire call, we responded to a structure fire, and while not as cold as a previous call, we did suffer from frozen breathing apparatus. Our apparatus pumped several thousand gallons of water and prevented the spread of the fire to 2 adjacent structures. During this call, our fire department also responded to 3 emergency medical calls, all on this last Sunday afternoon. I am proud of our personnel, as should everyone else in the township. I have one other item related to our budget process. I've reviewed. I did get a chance to review what the township's proposal was for wages, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank the township board for their support over the last year, and hope that will continue into the future. That said, I do have one area of contention that needs to be addressed, and that is our budget. Assistant Fire Chief Espovic and I cannot accept a wage increase unless there is also a wage increase for everyone in the department. We thank the board for their consideration, but ask that they remove the intended raise from the budget proposal to be discussed. On another subject, we do not have complete control over our budget, and that needs to be changed. I'm told at the end of every budget year that I don't have any money left, yet I am not given the information I need to control our budget. I've been unsuccessful in getting copies of all the invoices that are charged to our account unless they have been mailed to the fire department. I have no way of knowing how much gas or electricity we are using, or if Charter Cable is charging us correctly for our phone, TV, and internet service. When I have work done by or made purchases from some local businesses, I don't know if they're charging us for what we really purchased. Someone not belonging to our department could be purchasing items and charging them to us. After an employee was caught purchasing fuel for his personal vehicle with a township card, I developed a system that allowed me to check fuel purchases each month. This requires that I receive a copy of the fuel man invoice. I have never received one. I've attempted to think outside the box for increasing or stretching our budget resources, but have been blocked each time. I've asked for a credit card to allow the purchase of items not available locally so I could purchase them over the phone or over the internet. The township board approved the fire department to utilize a credit card, but I've never received one. I've asked the board to approve the start of a basic ambulance service for a test period of 3 years to determine if we could make money collecting the insurance charges rather than another ambulance service collecting the money. A study was started, but the fire department was not allowed to participate. The study was flawed because the townships that were called did not operate in the same manner that we intended to operate. Those services were also approximately 22 miles on average from the hospital, while we are 5 miles from the hospital. This would be a substantial fuel savings. This year it is my intention to utilize grant funding as much as possible. As with all things, they fall to you for your approval or rejection. Assistant Chief Espovic will be our budget watchdog so that we may do a better job of maintaining control. But we cannot do this on our own. I call upon the Township Treasurer and the Township Clerk, as well as Mr. Cruz, to assist us, to meet with us, the Assistant Chief and I, to develop a plan for next year. I understand that both the Clerk and the Treasurer will be leaving for vacation, and we plan on taking this subject upon their return. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ron. Okay, the next item is the zoning administrator's report, which you have in your packet. Any questions, comments concerning that report? Item D, the Planning Commission, you have the minutes of the public hearing held on February 17th, as well as the regular Planning Commission meeting minutes. Anything you want to add to those, Shirley?
No.
Item E, the Downtown Development Authority, you have the minutes from the February 3rd meeting in your packet. As well as the Executive Director's report from the DDA. Any questions, comments there? Okay, item F, number 1, the annual employee evaluation of Lynn Couyers. Well, first of all, you have the minutes from the Personnel Committee meeting in your packet, and the evaluation was done, and there was a recommendation by the Personnel Committee to approve a 2% wage increase, which would amount to 40 cents per hour for Lynn Couyers, bringing her new hourly rate to $20.25 per hour, effective March 1st of 2014. And if there are any questions on that, I would take those questions or entertain a motion for approval of that recommendation.
I'll move we give Lynn Couyers 40 cents,
Support.
2%.
Okay, motion by Cruz, support by Williams to approve the recommendation of the Personnel Committee for 2% wage increase in the amount of 40 cents per hour for Lynn Couyers. Any discussion? Troy, do you want to do a roll call on that?
Okay. Ball, yes. Walker,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Cruz,
Yes.
Scarra. Yes. Lachinsky.
Okay, motion passed. Item 2 is an update on the level 3 assessor position. Did you get something from Richard today on that?
We got a amendment to
Updated
the
amendment.
contract, which we will take up at the last here.
Okay,
In fact, it's on your additional
okay. I was...
agenda here.
Okay, I don't know where I laid mine. I'll have to look at yours. Okay.
Right here.
Thought I saw that on the new business agenda.
It's on the,
It's on this sheet
Okay,
yeah, on the addendum sheet.
okay.
tonight.
The addendum,
Yeah,
okay.
Last
Yeah.
paragraph.
It was on as an update, but this was just talked about, yesterday and today.
Okay. Okay, that brings us to item G, the PEG Commission report, which you have in your packet. Dean, is there any further comment on that?
Once again, to tell everybody that the channels are 189, 190, so that you can look those up. We've saw a lot of people now said that we're starting to make good moves, and they can hear us better, and the content's better, which is really good. We still need some more people to be on the PEG 4. So anybody that's really interested in trying to make public television better for everybody, or that we have enough people on our board to help us create a better method of doing what we do, please get a hold of somebody from PEG.
Also, you can watch this meeting and other municipal meetings online at any time of the day or night, and that is www.manistee.tv.org. And there's also other things on there besides meetings. There's parade, there's music, there's concerts, and that's pretty much it. There's some entertainment on there besides just the meetings. That's all I have.
Also, they have the veterans update too. Got that one.
Number that channel number, 89, Dave?
189.
189, 190.
Cable.
190.
Okay, item H is the sewer project, and in your board package, you have the minutes from the Ad hoc Sewer Committee meeting, which took place on February 24th. And as an outcome of that meeting, a recommendation came forth from the Ad hoc Sewer Committee to the DDA, and the DDA acted on it tonight, and is asking for action by the Township Board in regards to reopening negotiations with the city. And so, in support of the Ad hoc Sewer Committee's recommendation, the DDA Board's recommendation to the Township Board, who both unanimously agreed that we should not re-enter negotiations with the city, I would entertain a motion to that effect by this board.
Okay, motion not to reopen negotiations with the city. Motion to reaffirm ad hoc committee's motion not to reopen wastewater treatment negotiations with the city of Manistee. A yes vote supports not reopening it, and a no vote would reopen.
Okay, so we have a motion by Cruz, a second by
Can I see that, please?
Paczynski. And the motion basically reads, a motion to not reopen wastewater treatment negotiations with the city of Manistee. Is that the motion?
Yep.
Dean? Okay. And as Dean said, a yes vote on this would support not reopening negotiations with the city. Any questions or discussion on the motion?
Well, me.
Well, we've been through a lot of discussions about this, both ways.
Yes.
Did you get a letter from the city today?
Yes.
Okay, well, this wasn't a negotiation. It looked like an offer.
Yes, it was.
So that offer is going to be looked into? I mean, this is to not open negotiations.
Right.
Right.
Right. The DDA board discussed that offer that came forth from the city in the 11th hour again. And there were there was a couple of errors in their figures that did not, in fact, make their offer look better than the offer with the tribe. And so the DDA took action at their meeting to reply to the city with a letter that we were not interested in re-entering those negotiations.
The offer that I just got in the mail today, they have already answered.
Yes. They've already reviewed it, looked at it.
The ad hoc committee looked at it, reviewed it.
Brian Sousa looked at it.
And we already came up with one. Now, this is the second time we're looking at it again. And
one thing that they failed to take account of in there was in comparing hookup with the city to hooking up with the tribe, they failed to account for the rural development grant, 45% grant, which brings our capital outlay less than what it would be with the city.
What is that capital outlay?
Just going off the top of my head, it was a total for the collection system and the system to get the wastewater to the tribe. The total was $7,800. Do you have that letter in front of you, Tom? Million, I'm sorry, $7,800,000. And when the rural development grant was entered into it, along with our rural development loan, it brought that figure down to under $4 million.
$3,035,350,000 or something.
Yeah.
Surely they had an 8% increase right now, and next year we're going to have another 8%, which is 16%. And that does not reflect the cost per month here. And the difference was from $1.6 million to $400,000. So it's not costing us a cent to cut into the tribe.
And actually, it was 8.5% this year and again next year. 8.5% increase.
Well, this motion is just to not reopen negotiations.
Correct. Right. Any other discussion, questions? Shirley, do you want to do a roll call on that?
Hachinsky?
Yes.
Cruz?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Ball? Yes. Guerra?
Yes.
Walker?
Yes.
I would also like to make a motion to send a letter with the attached minutes to the city of Manistee stating the township's intent to stop negotiation on a treatment agreement with the city.
we've already got that, haven't we?
Yeah, I thought we did that.
Not for this latest,
Oh,
Oh,
for an earlier.
Yeah, you're right, I
For an
see.
earlier proposal, we responded. but not
read
with
that
this.
over, Tom.
Send a letter back with the minutes of this meeting to the city stating that the township intent is to stop wastewater treatment negotiations with them, with the city.
See, that's where that one guy could come in and, wait, he's right, the city. He said, mention the city.
We can't negotiate.
We've got a motion on the table. First, we need a second to the motion, and then we can discuss that motion.
All right, second.
Okay, motion by Hachinsky, second by Williams, to send a letter attached to the minutes to the city of Manistee stating that the township's intent is to stop wastewater treatment negotiations with the city of Manistee. Okay. Further discussion? Okay. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Two other things that I'd like to deal with right now under the sewer project report. One is a letter from Pine Ridge that was presented to the DDA stipulating basically that they would like to be excluded from phase one of the project. They did a survey of their members in the Pine Ridge Association. 34 surveys were sent to owners, 26 of them were returned, and of the 26 returned, there were 23 owners that said no to becoming part of the phase one sewer development. And so they would like it made a matter of public record and have submitted a letter to that effect. And so Shirley has a copy of that, and that will be a matter of public record now. One last thing is, as we proceed with the sewer project, there are a lot of financial details to be worked out, accounts to be set up, bonds, and so forth. And we have a proposal that was presented to the DDA Ad Hoc Sewer Committee and to the DDA from Umbau, which is a firm in Okemos, from a gentleman by the name of Tom Traciak, who came highly recommended by Brian Sousa as being the guy that has dealt with lots and lots of these. I've had conversations with him, and he has a tremendous background with this. He's done the majority of the work for municipalities working with road development on water and sewer projects. And so I asked for a proposal from him, and that just came in yesterday, I believe it was, or day before yesterday. So you have, I put a copy of it in front of you. And basically, if you go to the third page, he kind of summarizes the services that he would provide in this service and what his fee would be. And the fee for these services is $15,500 payable upon completion of the financing from bond proceeds. And just so that you're aware, this cost was built into the sewer project. As Brian did the figures for this project, he built those costs in, so it's not going to be an additional cost that's going to show up after the fact. And so I guess what I'm looking for at this point would be a motion to retain Tom Traciak of Umbau to begin any preliminary work that needs to be done in the financial arena to take care of this sewer project.
Did the DDA hire them?
No, no. They recommended that we hire them. Basically, like I said, his costs are built into the sewer project. A cost of a financial advisor.
Okay.
Brian built that
Are
into the
we
project.
supposed to be hiring him and paying him?
As part of the project, yes. Yeah, we are in effect responsible for the cost of that sewer project.
Okay, then maybe it'd be a good idea if Ruth and I met with him first.
Well, my only concern there, Shirley, is I don't know at this point if there's some initial preliminary work that he would, begin looking at or not. Don't want to hold him up. I'm just not sure. I anticipate that right now he may not be super involved at this point, because right now it's negotiations with between Eric Williams, Brian Sousa, and the Little River Band.
Okay, because this was just given to us tonight.
Yeah, and I suppose, in that regard, we could...
If it's the DDA, if they hired him, that's one thing.
Well, let's... Tim, what's your understanding on that?
Well, the township is really the facilitator for the funds that are getting collected through sewer rates. And like Terry mentioned, Brian has got those figures built in. So, our anticipation is that, obviously the DDA is going to interact with them, at least Brian Sosa will, but to the extent that the paying of it is concerned, that's something the township is going to be reimbursed for through sewer rates. So like Terry said, I think that it should be a washout, if not more so in the long term. But the DDA's position at this point is to fund that, and Brian's got the numbers built into the sewer rates that the township's going to collect. It doesn't make sense. We'd be paying them for something that Brian has allocated funds for through sewer rates.
Okay, well, I still would like to talk to him first.
Yeah, I think he's, his primary responsibility would be setting up all the accounting funds and setting up the logistics to make sure,
right.
Long-term, we have all the R&R accounts set up, and there's funds being allocated to that on a regular basis.
Yeah, and that's the guy that we have to work with.
You'd like to speak to him, and I understand that. I totally get that. I think he'd shine a lot of light on it.
Yeah.
Regardless whether it's this gentleman or somebody else, that there's going to need to be somebody in this position to make sure from a logistics standpoint that we're following the legal guidelines. But I think the reason we're leaning towards this guy is he came so highly recommended from Brian, and apparently he does the lion's share in the municipal sewer work as far as the accounting is concerned anyway. So it's a one-time expense, but I understand he's going to set this up, and that'll be the last we see of it. But I would have that discussion so at least you have a better understanding. And like Terry said, we're a month away from really utilizing it in many ways. But if you want to have that discussion and table it until the next meeting, that makes sense too. But I think you'd get a level of comfort if you just had a conversation with him.
I think I'd like to.
I can give you his contact information.
Well, because this isn't very clear.
Yeah, no, I've got everything.
How do you feel,
email
Ruth?
address.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
And like Tim said, we definitely will be hiring someone to fill that role.
Okay.
But he, in talking with him and with Brian's recommendation, I feel real comfortable going with this gentleman. So I'll get with you tomorrow and we'll set something up.
So let's kind of table it then?
Yeah.
We can table it till
April.
April's meeting.
Let's do that.
If we were all going on vacation, will I give you that time?
Well, give me enough time. Ruth can do hers too.
And you can, from wherever you're at, you can call and talk with them or email, sure. Yeah. Okay, new business. Item A is consideration of request for financial support from the Manistee Conservation District. in the amount of $745 for the Household Hazardous Waste Clean Sweep Collection Day. That will take place in Manistee County on Saturday, August 15th, 2015. Shirley, how many years have we been doing this as a township? Have we been involved in this?
Probably 5,
Okay.
maybe.
And I think
It
that,
was smaller, and then I think they took on maybe Lake County or something along the line there, or Oceana or something.
That's it, you mean at the county garage?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's more than 5 years, Shirley.
could be.
I know the last couple of years, reading the results of that, what they've collected, it's staggering, yeah,
It's growing.
yeah. So I would entertain a motion for support of that request.
I'll make a motion that we go ahead with it.
Support.
We have a lot of people in our township that do use this.
I'll be the first one to buy it.
Okay, we have a motion by Skira, support by Williams, to approve the request of $745 in support for the Household Hazardous Waste Clean Sweep Collection Day with the Manistee Conservation District. It will take place on Saturday, August 15th, 2015. Shirley, you want to do a roll call on that?
Okay. Ball, yes. Walker,
Yes.
Cruz,
Yes.
Scarra,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Pachinsky.
Yes.
Okay, item B, consideration of approval of the presented fiscal year 2016 budget as discussed at the budget hearing held on February 3rd, 2015, and appropriate the millage for the purpose of 1.395555 township operating, 1.00000 refuse, 0.5000 for fire and rescue, and 0.5000 for fire bond. And I would entertain a motion to that.
Also moved.
I'll second it.
Motion by Cruz, second by Skira, to approve the presented fiscal year 2016 budget. Any discussion? All those in favor of that motion signify by
We
saying...
need a roll call.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead and do the roll call, Shirley.
Cruz,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Pachinsky,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Ball, yes. Scarra.
Yes.
Okay, item C is consideration of approval of the presented wages, salaries, charges, and fees resolution for 2015-2016, and you have that in your packet.
Mr. Supervisor, I would ask that you remove the fire chief, assistant fire chief from that.
We could change it back to the last year's fee. Last year's fee was $4,200 a year. This proposal is $4,300. And the fire assistant chief was $1,860 per year. and the proposed was $1,900 per year.
Is that what you're asking for, Ron?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So with that change, going with last year's figure for the fire chief and the assistant fire chief, I would entertain a motion for approval of that resolution.
So we're talking only $140 total.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we approve the resolution for the presented wages, salaries, charges, and fees for 2015-2016. Is there a second to that motion?
Yeah.
Motion by Walker, second by Williams to approve the presented wages, salaries, charges, and fees resolution for 2015-2016. Any further discussion?
Yeah, Shirley, can you give me that again?
What the change is?
Yeah, what it was last year,
Oh, $4,200 for the chief
4,200?
and $1,860 for the assistant.
Any other discussion? Shirley, want to do a roll call, please?
Scarra,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Ball, yes. Cruz, Paczynski,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Okay, item D in your packet is your copy of the Downtown Development Authority budget for fiscal year 2016. We need to approve that as a township board.
I so move.
Motion by Cruz, support by Hachinsky to approve the DDA budget for fiscal year 2016. And Shirley, roll call, please.
Williams,
Yes.
Paczynski,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Ball, yes. Cruz,
Yes.
Scarra,
Yes.
Item E is consideration of the annual spring brush pickup. Would you like to do the spring brush pickup again this year, I guess is the question.
Yes.
What's our expenses on that? Is that still?
Quite a bit.
Doesn't it run about
I'm wondering if that's
8,000?
something that we
I
might
think last,
skip every other
I
year.
think last year was up to
Is it
close to
40?
9,000.
Oh, that's when we had the whole thing together.
No,
I mean, the trash pickup and brush.
no, just the
We
brush.
haven't had the trash in quite a
No,
while.
but I mean, the trash was an extra $40,000 a year.
Yeah, that's different though.
Yeah, all right.
This is just
This is working on
brush.
the system.
As a trash, you got that one big item.
Yeah.
Right. This, it is costly, but it does seem to serve a lot of residents of the township. There's a lot of people that seem to utilize that, take advantage of it.
You don't do it, go on that road behind me. And see what happens if we don't, and they do it anyway. It's all full of rust and stumps and stones.
Well, that's another thought too, is people are going to dispose of brush they cut one way or another probably.
They're gonna get rid of it.
Yeah.
And they're gonna want to burn it if they can.
Oh,
A lot of them are going to want
state does for a lot of fires.
I think we have to do it. Get it on bids again.
Yeah, I agree. I've been on 2 tracks through the woods and seen where people have hauled leaves and brush trimmings out and dumped it, even though that's not legal. It does provide a service to our residents.
Because they usually do that around like May.
Right.
Yeah, I'll second that motion.
I don't believe we have a motion yet, do we?
I thought Dave did.
Oh,
I'll make
were you
the
making a
Oh,
motion?
I thought he did already.
Okay, motion by Cruz, second by Scara to approve the annual spring brush pickup. And I assume to seek bids on that?
Yep.
Okay. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item F is consideration of approval of a resolution supporting the development of the Manistee Countywide Park and Recreation Plan, and you have a copy of that resolution in your packet.
There's no money with this one anyway. This one,
What's that, Dave?
No,
There's no cost.
no cost. I'll make the motion for
And
that.
then what are we gonna lose? Nothing.
nothing. We've got everything to gain.
Right.
I'll second that.
A motion by Cruz, second by Scara to approve the resolution supporting the development of the Manistee Countywide Park and Recreation Plan. Shirley, would you call the roll, please?
Ball, yes. Walker,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Cruz,
Yes.
Scara,
Yes.
Lachinsky.
Item H is consideration of approval of a request, consideration of approval of a terrorism insurance coverage offered by U.S. Specialty Insurance Company for the policy period March 1st of 2015 through March 1st of 2016.
Just for the book, or early fall.
Yes, it's something that comes out every year, and we have to either accept it or reject it. So we have to let them know what we are going to do. We have always rejected it before.
I don't see.
I don't see.
Well, there's two premiums issued are offered.
How's our terrorism height here?
You're up there. Is our, curiosity question, is our regular insurance not cover acts of terrorism? Does not?
Certain acts of terrorism, I guess. That's why they've got this.
What do they charge for terrorism insurance?
So the federal government, pays some of it, not all.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on that terrorism.
There's such a thing as certified acts of terrorism. Maybe
That's determined by FEMA?
That's the catch, is the
certified.
What is certified, Jim? For what, Jim?
It is terrorism.
Huh?
Certified terrorism is by the government said it is terrorism. And not workplace management or workplace
And I'm
violence.
that happened here.
Well, every other year, we just kind of looked at it and just went,
how much is it?
$151.
Well, there's two things here.
40.
Casualty terrorism, $49.
or
Property terrorism, $103.
Cheap enough.
Terrorists are more around too.
purchase casualty.
Well, it comes back to me like the day we responded to a bomb, possible bomb at the DHS office.
What's that?
That was a few years ago. We went to a bomb at possible bomb at the DHS office by Kmart. Remember that we evacuated the whole Kmart plaza?
Oh, I remember.
Blocked all the roads, they had to bring the bomb squad in from Grayling.
Is that a
Would
certified act?
would that have been covered under
If that had
terrorism?
been an actual bomb, I don't know if that would be a certified act of terrorism or just a disgruntled person. I don't know how to determine that. But for that low of a price,
Property or casualty?
If we get bombed, who's going to be here to play?
Well, they ain't gonna kill us all.
The one that's left?
Well, and I mean, with the cogen plant, there has been some discussion at times about that being a potential target, and I know they do regular drills on that on an annual basis. Yeah.
Well, casualty is if one of our firemen went in there and got popped or something.
So what would you like to do as a board?
You should know that the Terrorism Risk Insurance Act contains $100 billion cap that limits U.S. government reimbursement, as well as insurers' liability for losses resulting from certified acts of terrorism.
Well,
So it sounds like the whole insurance company is only going to pay out $100 billion no matter what?
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, it's a cap.
Says page
what do you think, your land's worth more, or people?
So page 2 for additional policyholder disclosure information. We'll have a page 2.
Well, if you like it, if you are considering it, we can get page 2 and you can look it over again next month.
Okay,
So that's table information.
What are you gonna okay with? Which one are you okay in?
both of them.
You almost have to.
We'll just look
So
at it.
we'll table this till next month then and look at the second page and maybe get questions answered. Okay, item H is consideration of approval of a request for annual support from the Manistee Recreation Association within the range of $10,422.50 to $11,464.75 for the year 2015. Our current annual contribution is $11,800.
That's not every 3 months, that's for the year, right?
Yes, annual, yeah,
$11,000?
yes.
It's gone down a little bit.
Yeah, I think there's less kids, sure.
Yeah, that's true.
And, I mean, the schools have got some of the other programs, But it's a good thing.
Yeah.
On your MRA for your residency here, I don't believe we have 6th Avenue apartment 1. I don't think we have 6th Avenue in our house. I don't believe there's any houses on Stronach Road, and there's a couple here on Stronach Road. North Amber Road, I think, stops at the county line. We don't have an Amber Road.
Yeah, I think what gets mixed up is some of the grant people that go to MAPS, Manistee School, I think they
Ferry
get,
Street is not here.
unless it's Cherry Road.
Yeah, there's always a few like that.
Yeah, we ran into the same thing with the pools.
With what there?
With the pool,
Yeah.
people that weren't in Filer Township signing.
Everybody lived in Filer Township.
It looks like a lot of people are doing it.
And I think it provides some real good programs for our youth, gives them a number of alternatives, keeps them involved and active. I think their programs are very worthwhile.
I don't think they play football anymore, do they, Jerry?
No, that's Pop Warner takes care of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, they play different kinds of.
I think they used to have flag football. I'll make a motion that we approve the request for support from the Manistee Recreation Association.
I'm going to second it.
In the amount of?
In the amount of, $11,000,
Even?
even, yeah.
To be paid quarterly.
Is that how we've been paying it? Okay, to be paid quarterly then. Is there a second to that motion?
Dean did.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Okay, motion by Walker, second by Cruz to approve the request for annual support from the Manistee Recreation Association in the amount of $11,000 to be paid quarterly. Any further discussion? Shirley, you want to do roll call, please?
Okay, Kaczynski?
Yes.
Cruz?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Ball? Yes. Scarra?
Yes.
Walker?
Yes. Item J is consideration of approval of the purchase of an HP 350 G1 laptop computer for elections at a cost of $479.99 from Jack Pine.
It's obvious that they need it. I will make a motion to that effect.
Where are you gonna put it?
What?
Where are you gonna put that?
Well, it's the notebook that, the laptop that we use when people come in to vote.
Oh, yeah, all right.
It just simply won't turn on anymore. We had to put a new battery in.
Something wrong with it.
Yes, obviously there is.
Okay, we have a motion on the table. Is there a second to that motion? Okay. Motion by Scarra, second by Cruz to approve the purchase of the elections computer at a cost of $479.99 from Jack Pine. Further discussion? Somebody had a question? Okay, you want to do a roll call on this also?
Ball? Yes. Walker?
Yes.
Cruz?
Yes.
Scarra?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Kaczynski?
Yes.
Okay, and the last item on the agenda is consideration of approval of the presented amendment to the assessor employment agreement between Barb Eaton and the township effective April 1st, 2015 through May 31st of 2015.
Now she's a 2.
Yes, she's a level 2.
What about her 3?
That's what our personnel committee is reviewing right now, the applications we have to hire to get a level 3. This would be just to continue Barbie's worked for the township through the end of May. Speaking with her, there's very little to be done in April and May. But this will keep us covered and will give the Personnel Committee a little more time to review the applications we have and do interviews.
I so move we do it,
I'll second that.
because we need the two here.
Okay, motion by Cruz, support by Hachinsky to approve the presented amendment to the assessor employment agreement between Barbie Eaton and the township, effective April 1st, 2015 through May 31st of 2015. Any further discussion?
Gotta have them.
Do we need a roll call on this, Shirley? We don't really, do we?
I don't think you do unless you'd like to.
Well, no. All those in favor of the motion presented signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. And that brings us to public comment.
How about the workshop, did we do that?
Do you want to go for public comment now, or would you like to take up this thing that Tim talked about?
Oh,
He wanted, he just gave us this, and I don't, this is
Okay.
something new that we've
Well,
never
this-
had to sign for the DDA when they did transaction,
Oh, okay, I wasn't part of that
when
discussion.
transactions at the bank, and I guess
So,
they're changing their money.
let's
from
take
one-
care of that right now. Yeah.
So it's looking like there's a certification of authority that Ruth and I have to sign, that these folks are okay to do this. So I guess our motion would be to allow Ruth and I to sign this certification of authority for that. And it's for West Shore Bank for them to put their funds in there.
it's a checking account
From where?
from Chemical Bank.
Okay.
From which bank?
Chemical Bank.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Did you want to read it? We just got it, so. And it's their checking account, so it's not something that really we should hold up.
Yeah, that isn't anything that you really have to hold up. You have to have the ability to get the funds. That's all that is.
I see.
So we need to take a roll call vote on it, because
We should.
that is a resolution
Yeah.
at the top.
Right.
This is authorizing him to do this.
Yes.
Yes.
No, maybe. There's money involved, though.
I'll make a motion that we go ahead, give them the authorization to do that.
Support.
Motion by Cruz, support by Williams to authorize the signatures of, you have to see that again.
The clerk and the treasurer.
Okay, the clerk and treasurer to enact this corporate authorization resolution. Shirley, you want to do roll call, please?
Cruz,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Chemsky,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Ball, yes, Scarra,
Yes.
Okay, public comment. Jim?
Couple questions on the sewer project. How is that being funded? I heard Tim say something about all this $7.8 million going to be funded by sewer rates.
Not all of it. Bond